We people keep on thinking very conservatively about the resources. We speak about reusing the resources, we speak about the recycling the resources. So reusing and recycling, we keep on thinking, but we normally don't do. And there's a girl, she's a wonder girl, and she has not only talked, not only discussed, but she has jumped into recycling something which she calls upcycling. I'm really interested in understanding what is this upcycling and how can we actually utilize the resources which are already used once again. She is the one who has created the best out of the West, and how she could do that, how she upcycled certain commodities, certain things, we'll try and understand from her. She is Soumya Kalluri. In 2009, while I was conducting an induction program for the first year students of Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, and while my induction program was going on, and then we discussed a lot about some 300 people, they were there, 300 boys and girls who had just got admission in first year engineering. They were there in front of me, and she was the one who had asked me a lot many questions. While the induction program had finished, she had actually talked to me while I was going out of the hall, and then she caught me up and she asked, "Sir, how about getting into entrepreneurship after engineering?" This was how it was the beginning, and then today, 2009 to 2021. It's altogether 11, 12 years of journey, and she's an entrepreneur. She upcycles the waste and creates the products. Not only creates, not only sells, actually she exports those products. Now let me introduce you Soumya Kalluri. She's here, and she's the one who runs an entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship called Dwitch. What is this Dwitch? Even I do not know. But let me ask her and understand from her is to what is this? To me, Soumya is in Hindi or in Marathi, actually, it's a 2.5 letters word. And Dwij also is a 2.5 letters word. Like Krishna is 2.5 letters word. So she is the one who is the founder of Dwij, which creates the best out of the waste. And here comes Soumya. Hi, Soumya.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Wonderful. First class. Wonderful life.
Yes.
Life is
Yeah.
awesome.
While you were narrating about the 2009 episode, it took me to the flashback, and I am really happy to have some good mentors like you who had this vision of you should do something other than job or anything. So you would definitely come to my mind whenever I think of someone who would motivate people to do something out of their comfort zone per se.
So
I think I'll start with the two questions that you had, upcycling and which. What are these two basic words? And then I could go about my story also along with that.
true.
So
Just hold. Look, friends, even before I start asking her the questions, she has taken the questions from my introduction and she started narrating that. It's great, great. We are really very happy to listen to that. Soumya, please.
yes, so Dwich basically means second life in Sanskrit. So essentially, like it is like giving a second life to something that was already been in use. So as you I like the analogy that everything is a 2.5 letter word, which I didn't really think of, and that's good to know. Another thing to add, and second thing is upcycling. So we have always heard of about the term recycling, and upcycling we may not have heard it in the name it is introduced now, but we always know with how you called as best out of waste, or you could always relate it with the godari that we used to have as kids. Like your grandmoms would bring a lot of saris, and then you stitch them together to make a big quilt. So that is one example of upcycling, so to say. So the basic difference between recycling and upcycling is, in recycling, you need a lot of energy, you need a lot of big machineries, and you need a lot of material at once to create something from one form to another. And at times, when you create from one form to another, it degrades, like it downgrades. So, for example, if you are recycling a plastic, a food grade plastic may not convert into another food grade plastic, but it necessarily could convert into like a plastic that is used in some downgraded application. So you're losing value of the product and you're investing more energy, but at the end you're recovering the material. There is recovery of material. So in upcycling, what you do is you have very less energy, or you have more creative focus in mind. You're creating one material to the other, but you're adding more value to the product by making it in such a way that it is upgraded. So basically, it's like, one is, in recycling, you could go downcycling, or otherwise you could going upcycling. So those are the terminology which might come, like, repeatedly in what we speak next.
Dvij means second life. So essentially what we do here is giving second life to the used stuff. Our philosophy is into zero waste manufacturing. Whatever comes to Dvij, we try and utilize it in some or the other format. Meaning to say, like, if we make a bag out of it, there are smaller pieces left over, we make jewelry out of it.
Fashion, I found out, is the second most polluting industry. So we think plastic is a monster, or driving a fossil fuel car is the monster. But if we don't choose our clothes in the right manner, that is also a big monster. So that's where like we started exploring a lot of clothes, and finally we narrowed down to denim.
It's quite
Yes.
exciting. It's quite exciting. Actually, when people normally think of getting into entrepreneurship, they try to find out what is time tested, where they have got less possibilities of failures. But here,
Yes.
you were not knowing is what was that, and
Yes.
you were not sure about the outcome of that
Yes.
during that time. This
That's true.
upcycling is something very unique according to me. And you started it, and now this journey has come up to 2021. In between, also 1.5 years of COVID-19 era also is now passing. It may we can say so, but what according to you is your USP, Soumya?
Yeah. So basically, as you mentioned, it was not easy to start this thing.
True.
Because our basic raw material that we get is somebody's genes. So we had to have a lot of proper supply chain management, like, because if your raw material, or if
Getting the
you're,
raw material.
yes, yes.
For getting the raw
It's
material,
not,
correct.
yes.
Sir,
So
I mean, you cannot
my
think
challenge is,
about, like all other entrepreneurs, if they want to manufacture something, they buy the raw material, convert that into the finished products, and then dispatch.
exactly.
Here,
Yes.
you don't get such a raw material anywhere. Very good. So how
So
did you?
it's not easy.
It's
Yeah.
not easy,
So
correct.
yeah. So you will find a lot of denim bags, or you would find a lot of let's say eco-friendly bags. But when you're converting from post-consumer, it has the challenges of its own. Like, you have to have a lot of jeans at one place altogether, and they would come to in different shapes and forms. So I don't come from a fashion background, so I had to learn and unlearn a lot of things before I could get into this. And like, I don't have anyone from my business background in my family who could, like, tell me what is right, what is wrong. And so coming back to your USP point, is like, I guess the way that I have understood business and I have come out in my own understanding, that itself is, like, very unique for me. I would not, like, as you were saying in the beginning, that people want safe zones. Like, if somebody wants to make plastic pellet business, it's all there. Like, you need a machine, you need this raw material, and you start. But in social enterprise, what I have understood is, like, you have to be, first of all, very motivated to do what is your vision per se, to make something work. So our products, if you ask me the products USP, I would just say that they are like, I would say, the best quality available. That's because all the accessories that go into it are of the best quality. So in everything, like right from zippers If you say zippers, the best quality is YKK Japanese zippers, so they are there. If you say the type of belts, we use 100% cotton, very nicely dyed, so it's there. So my understanding of this whole business is such that if I'm taking so many efforts to convert one material to another form, it has to be of good quality. Otherwise, I'm not doing any justice to the whole process. It's like otherwise just a marketing gimmick where I'm saying that I'm converting one thing to another, but it's not actually lasting in the first place.
One point which you said just now, friends, and this is wonderful. She has said that she took little time in learning and then unlearning. Normally, while you complete some journey in jobs and then you try to unlearn, which becomes very difficult.
Yes,
But for
yes,
her, actually, it was very easy. At the same time, unlearning is also an essential factor when you are actually jumping into something new, something the end of which you are not very clear about. So one point to learn is unlearning something which is holding you.
yes.
It stands as a hindrance in front of you. Wonderful, first class. Now, you supply your products here in India also, or you export them also?
Yes, so we have our own website, and we have some partner channels who display our products, and most of our Indian clients are bulk order clients, like for say example, pharmacists, pharmacy companies, or anywhere there are conferences. So like we had orders from MBA colleges where, as a written goodies, they would give something. Huh. So like maybe 300, 500 quantities. So corporate orders is something that we are capable of handling right now. And yes, we did exports, but that started with during the period of Corona, and due to which there are some hurdles, but we are continuing to do focus in that area as well.
I'm really happy that you could actually export what has been
Yes.
upcycled, and you are the unique. You are the only industry which, to me, as far as my knowledge goes, is the only industry which upcycles this used jeans and denim and then convert that into wonderful products. Very good.
Yes, and our tagline is upcycled in India. We say which upcycled in India. So we don't say made in India.
True,
We say upcycled in India.
true.
Yeah.
Because India
Yes.
actually stands very tall nowadays. On the global platform, in the global arena, actually, we Indians, we stand very tall, and
Yes,
these days
I
are
agree.
wonderful for business people. Now, I got a question: is to how big is your team?
So my team is mostly spread all across India. We have tailors and helpers who work inside the workshop, and there are women who take some work home. So we have cut pieces and then they take home,
Acha.
and as per their like timing and as per their convenience, they make the end product and they bring it back to us. So I would say my team is like 5 to 6 people as of now, including like freelance designers, or like they are again another set of people so who help me according to freelancing, but as such we are still growing. Like it would be much bigger in the coming days. So far we are happy with a very strong team who supports us and who understands what we do. It's very important that because normally every tailor, say for example, I appreciate my tailors and helpers the most than any other people because they are the ones who are helping me convert from one to another form. And normally tailors are very hesitant to do something that is not their natural flow, and finding tailors who are happy to work on a raw material which was already used is not easy. And for them to be motivated is even another ball game altogether. So yeah, our team is really, really very efficient.
First class, first class. What's your vision?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting question I keep asking myself as well. So I would say my vision when I began has always been that I would like to make quality products. Jeans is one of the products that, one of the materials that we chose, but it could be going to any type of material. It doesn't have to necessarily limit to this. But the biggest vision is that we should have a zero waste landfills. Like we shouldn't have anything that is going into landfills. Like we as a human should be able, we should be able to keep the material circulating in the cycle till whatever best we can make out of.
First class. Now, out of your products range, tell me about first 2-3 products which are the best selling products.
Yeah. So one of the bags that we have is called as messenger bag. Essentially, it looks like
Messenger bag.
postman's. Yeah. So it looks like the postman's crossbody bag that people wear. But the twist in that is like we actually use the pants upper part to make that bag. So basically, you have four pockets, two in the front and two in the back in your jeans, right? So we use all those four pockets in the bag. So it looks very trendy. So people clearly can see that it's an upcycled product. And then the second type of product I would say is like wherever we did patchwork, people like that a lot. So we believe in zero waste landfills philosophy ourselves. So we try to make sure the smallest of the smallest part that we are having in the workshop must be utilized. So we do a lot of patchwork of those things and make another product, which again gives you a very clear philosophy of what we think and who we are. And the other products that are easy to use and people like really love are the slings range. They are also like small bags which you can just take for a small walk or go for small shopping. Like it's a very handy bag.
Now,
Yes.
I got a very specific question. It is on behalf of the audience which is there right now, and the audience which will be watching this video once it is uploaded on the YouTube is, since you are using the used jeans, and if the society wants to provide you their used jeans, how do they do that? What is the mechanism by which actually they can donate their used jeans to Dwitch?
Yes. So for corporates and communities, we definitely have tie-ups within Mumbai where people in one community bring out all their jeans. So like if there is some volunteer who would like to take this initiative that Diwali is coming, so everybody is going to clean the house. So let me just collect all the jeans and keep it on the side. So if we have bulk collection at some point, we do arrange for like transport or something.
Collecting
But
them.
if somebody but if somebody wants to do it on a personal level, so as to think that they want to dispose of their material in the same manner, then they're welcome to ship it to our address, and that can be found on www.dwitchproducts.com. So we receive the product and we send them back a message that we have received and we are going to take care of this. So all the jeans that we buy or all the jeans that we get, everything is first pre-washed in industrial washers. So only after the washing process, it comes to our workshop. And after that, the hygiene standards are maintained to get to a good product.
The world, Soumya, has become very small nowadays because of the digitalization. The world is very small. And suppose if you place a particular website, or if you give a particular link, by clicking that, if somebody wants to donate, he understands how to donate that. Is it possible?
Yeah, so we have a page called www.dwitchproducts/donate your jeans. So where you will get the address, and after you send it to us, you can just drop us a mail saying that I have sent it. So we can keep a track and let you know that we have received it or not. For many people, this could be the biggest question: has it reached you? Like whatever I give.
What message you would like to send to the industry?
Yeah.
Which should supply you the raw material.
Yeah. So for industries, we have started already tying up with a lot of manufacturers where they give us their waste from manufacturing process. So that's called as post-industrial denim. So that helps us to like not completely depend on post-consumer jeans, but it will add a little bit of balance in what we do. So basically, the basic message to industry will be to like take care of your materials first in the design process. So, for example, what I mean by this is all the clothes that we find right now, they are fused, like cotton and polyester are mixed. And because these are mixed, there are no technologies to separate these fibers and recycle them. But if a company solely focuses on the material and just makes 100% cotton or 100% polyester, then it becomes a very big opportunity for the next life cycle to be converted into recycled materials. So industry does acknowledge this problem now, and they have started to work towards this. But the climate change is so real that we have to expedite the process at a very, very war footing scale.
What's your message to the society for the purpose of recycling?
Yeah, so I think as a consumer, it is our responsibility that we buy things only when we need. This is my understanding of how things can run well. Yeah, there could be another debate how this would lead to collapse of economy or all those things, but I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of that. But it is very, very vital at this point in stage of our ecosystem that we buy something that is absolutely needed. And whenever we buy, the second stage is whenever we buy, always just a small thought like, what do I do with this at the end of life? That's all. So for example, at my place, whatever plastic comes, we collect all of that, and monthly or bi-monthly we give this to recyclers or people who do plasma pyrolysis. In plasma pyrolysis they convert it to oil, or if I got Tetra packs, I give it to people who make school benches out of it. So we have to really understand that the material, what we buy, and second, what are we going to do with that? Just thinking that हाँ ये तो कचरे में जाएगा, that approach has to completely stop. And that will start, like if we as a consumer also start demanding such things, the ecosystem will change, and the products also will change. Like for example, a small example is everyone, like if suppose Patanjali brought a lot of Ayurvedic stuff, Colgate had to bring it because people started demanding this kind of things. So it has changed the ecosystem somewhere. That's what I believe. Like if we as a consumer start becoming more aware, it has a lot of difference.
What's your message to your customers, present customers and future customers?
So for present customers, I think they are always happy with us. So anytime they need, they are happy to approach us, which is like my message would be the same, that please approach us whenever you need us. Be that repairs of anything that you might think has a problem, or if you would like to give back your products, and yeah, please spread the word. Would be my message to the present customers. And for future customers, what I feel is right now the eco-friendly market is growing at such a large pace that there are a lot of people who are doing greenwashing. Like their product may not be sustainable in the real way, but just because you use a eco-friendly word makes them like completely eco. Like people assume that that is eco-friendly. So just to give you an example, like we shifted from leather industry to a vegan synthetic fur, like synthetic materials that we see in the handbags these days. But the problem is like those are not recyclable. But since it has the tag vegan, or if it is like eco-friendly, it is not harming the animals, people think that that is the best material. But they have to go a point beyond to really understand. So my message to future customers is not to fall for greenwashing. That's all.
Very good, very good. What is your message to the persons who would like to get into entrepreneurship, either right after their graduation and post-graduation, or after working in an industry for few years? What's your message?
Yes. Yeah. So I think for both the categories, the first thing like is very important that, I mean, for me, it has been the case that why is the very important thing. Like, why do you want to start this? Is it like for money? Then if your answer is money, approach to seeing your business is completely different. But if you're saying that money is the byproduct of this whole process, but I want to have some impact, then your attitude towards the whole process is different. Say, for example, like if somebody like me is obviously I am wanting money and revenue generation at the end. But if my core was not to like create an impact, I think I wouldn't have survived so long. The moment Corona hit, a few days, and then I would have been like, oh my God, I'm not making anything. Let me do something about it. So, so at times there are challenges. There's no doubt, and patience is the key. There will be failures. There's no doubt, And I think it's a cliched sentence, but failure is like a stepping stone to getting a better idea of your what you do. So if my initial products failed, that's because that was not right for the market. So I had to change things to make it better. So the why part is very important, and the capital is definitely important. And today's world thinks in a like many of the youngsters think in the sense that I want investors and I want valuation and all that. That is true. That is true, but that should not be your core reason why you start something. Your core reason has to be like, I want to create an impact in whatever way, in whatever you believe. So your material might change, your process of doing the same thing might change, but why has to be remaining this has to remain the same.
So friends, if you really want to get into entrepreneurship, it's not that difficult. It's really easy. Only you got to be highly determined about what are you going to do. And once you decide that, take an inspiration from Soumya, and she decided to upcycle something and put it across into the market, and she is successful. You people can also be successful if you actually use the kind of tools she has told in her answers. So thank you, Soumya. It's a wonderful time with you.
It was great pleasure talking to you, and as usual, it was like very nice to get get proper answers from me. Like it's your questions that have got like a lot of things from me.
You are already very outspoken. So the point where we started actually, you did not require the questions from my side. You started while you tried understanding what is roaming in my mind, and then you read that and you started answering that. So, but it's a wonderful journey. We wish you all a wonderful life, a wonderful business ahead, and a wonderful expansion. Because it's a social entrepreneurship, you are actually adding value to the society. You are adding value to the waste actually, and convert that into the waste, and then supply that to human beings, not only in India but all across the globe. This is wonderful. So wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
It's wonderful to be with you today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.